So Lemmy's having some technical difficulties right now.
You can't stop Greg
Problems
Hill.
with
You
the-
can't stop Greg Hill.
problem with the signal.
This is part two. So, I mean, amazing. So we were talking about how you came back and you started to race for fun.
Yeah.
What was the competitiveness to come back for fun, not fun?
No,
Because you're a very intense individual.
Well, here's the deal. It was fun. I decided, okay, we'll have some fun with our, honestly, you're at a race and you got like your own team with like 7 or 8 or 10 kids. Then you got all these support teams. They're come by saying hi. And at some point, it's like you realize you're the only one not racing. So
yeah.
I said, all right, I'll race. So I went to Vegas and raced in 2015. So I got a gate at home, right? I had a pro gate. And I'm like, hey, son, can you run the gate for like 20 minutes? I got to figure out how to get out of the gate. Got to race in a couple weeks. So he's running the gate. And after like 3 or 4 gates, he's like, hey, Dad, can you... And this is Jeremy, right? So
Yeah,
he's
yeah.
28 now. So I don't know. He's a teenager, right? And he says, hey, Dad, aren't you supposed to go when the gate drops? And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of the deal. I think that's what you need to do. I'm like, give me a minute, okay? So I rode down to the, our driveway is like 300 feet long. So I rode to the fence, and I'm like, all right, I gotta go on the red light. I'm either gonna get bloody or I'm gonna hole shot, and we're going right now. And I'm clipped in. No, I'm not clipped in. I got my flat pedals on. So I get back on the gate. I'm like, all right, go. So I'm up there and I see the red and I just go. And I come back, he's like, that's what I'm talking about. So we're doing this and it's cool. Well, on the third day, I come out of the gate and I feel this massive tear and my left hamstring rips. The whole back of my leg within 2 days and the front and down was all purple, okay? It hurt like hell. Well, we get a cut. I'm like, okay, this sucks, but I'm going to race anyway. So then I go out and I'm doing sprints and I take off on the right on the first crank and my left side does the same thing. Now it's like, this is not cool. So I go to Vegas. I'm all jacked up. I got flat pedals. I get a first in my first round. I get a fourth in my semi and I get a 6th or 7th. I don't know, in the main event. We come out of last turn and me and Mr. Bill are dicing for last place.
Okay.
And I don't know what happened. I think he high-lowed me, and I was like, this is a lot of fun. We're battling for last. And anyways,
You should have broke this.
so then what happened is I went to Taiwan, and we made this new hydroform frame. And this was like probably in February. No, it was earlier than that. Anyways, we had designed this frame. Well, it showed up, the prototype. They air freighted it, and we got it the Monday before Phoenix. So I put it together, and I went to Phoenix, and I won. And I'm like, hey, this is cool with clips.
Wow.
Because in Vegas, I'm like, flat pedals aren't cutting it. I hate clips, but everybody's got them.
Sure.
So I went and bought some after the race on Saturday. I didn't race Sunday. I went to Phoenix, and I won on Saturday. I didn't race Sunday. And then I went to Ventura for the National, and I won on Saturday. And I didn't race Sunday. And then I went to New Mexico, and I crashed my brains out in I don't know what race it was, the second motor, whatever it was. Me and Bubba Hayes battling, he decides to just crash his brains out, there's nowhere to go. And after that, dude, that was like the hardest crash I ever did where I didn't break something. Actually, I cracked, I didn't know this, my scapula. Yeah. I was like having all these chest pains and my shoulder was hurting, and I went and try to get the x-ray for my shoulder, and we're looking at the x-ray, and the doctor is like, well, you're all good. And I said, what's that white? There's a lot of white right there. What is going on there? And I kind of knew that was a crack. Oh, your scapula has a crack. You fractured it. I'm like, oh, cool. What's the side effects of that? He goes, usually it's heavy, like accidents, collisions, give you like some heart pain, make you feel like your heart's, and I'm like, well, that's it. So after that, I was like, this is stupid. I'm not able to just go out and enjoy for fun a few laps. It's either you got to go full bore or not do it.
Yeah.
So I never raced again.
Wow. And that was what?
That was in 2015. And I won't race. And if someone offers me like all the money in the world to come race, or you got to race Dirty Fest, dude, I ain't racing nothing, man. I don't care what you offer me. You offer me 20 grand to go get on the gate and race at Dirty Fest, I'm telling you, no, thank you.
I already got a GoFundMe
Don't.
going. So.
Oh, well, good luck with that. It's all great. As Mike Tyson says, it's all fun and games till you get punched in the face. Well,
100%.
yeah.
Big Joe's watching MXCoach.com.
There we go.
My,
What's up, Joe?
Well, Joe and I grew up together, and he knows exactly all your training philosophies. Because he would
What's
tell
happening,
me,
Joe?
He would tell me to do it.
Are you serious?
The penny thing, the bleacher thing, he knows too. Because we used to
See,
do it. Yeah.
you know what I never explained to people about the penny? And
This
it's
is
always,
ex-
it's,
this
it's
is very-
always the big joke.
Okay.
I'm a guy who has ADD, ADHD, whatever, okay? I got a lot of shit going on all the time. Even if I'm doing nothing. It's a lot of
Sure.
So the only reason I did it, it could have been this. But just focus on that and get everything off your mind. It was just so I don't roll up to the gate. Imagine rolling up to the gate. You got to get out. Don't slip your pedal. Don't get this. Don't get that.
yeah.
You got to make the main. It's like, dude, it's very stressful. It's super stressful.
Well, can we talk about Sigil only because you went to a sports psychologist
On your
to
suggestion.
to get better?
On your suggestion.
No, I don't know if that's true or not. I think you went on your own.
Peter Sigel.
And you did Jeff Spencer as well, right?
I did Jeff Spencer, but he was nothing like Peter Sigel. Spencer was the best.
Talk to us about Spencer. 'cause
Okay, Spencer was
Joe knows about Spencer.
Spencer was training. So Jeff Spencer was training like Jeff Ward, David Bailey, a lot of pro guys, right? And I don't know how it worked out, but I reached out to him and I said, "Hey, I'd like to work with you." So he says, "Come on down." So we'll go to Pasadena, and they had this gym at a university. I can't remember the name. So we would go in the mornings, and it would be me and all these pro guys. And like, these guys are like awesome, man. And I got to become friends with all these guys. And so Jeff was like, "Here's what you're going to do," and he put me on a program. And he says the first thing he did was he came out to my place. He said, I want to go with you to your local riding spot. I want to watch you ride. I want to see what muscles you're doing. I want to see all this stuff. And so he's like, did that. Then he says, all right, I'm going to do a test with you. And so he pulls he has this thing, put your arms out. And he's like, here's a Snickers bar. Take a bite of it. I'm like, yeah, I'll take a bite of that. So I take a bite of it, and he goes, now put your arm out. And he put pressure, and it was like, and I'm like, wow. He goes, all right, drink this water, spit it out, clear your mouth, do it again. Wait a minute. Now he gives me an apple. Take a bite of this. Do the test. It's like way stronger. It's like, you're going to be what you eat. You can't eat garbage. So he taught me to eat right.
Wow, that's
And then,
incredible.
so I started training with him November 1st, 1983. November 27th was round 6 of the ESPN Pro Series. This guy says to me, you have rollers? Yes, I have rollers. He goes, I want you to ride them. Well, I can do that, no problem. Okay, you're going to ride them at 5 a.m. and you're going to take your rollers. I live in an apartment. You're going to take your rollers outside and find a place where it's cold and dark, and you're going to get on your rollers and ride them for 30 minutes. And you're going to get warmed up for 5, and then he gave me everything I had to do. And I'm like, I can't just ride them in my living room? And he goes, no, you can't ride them in your living room. I'm like, why? Because you don't need to be comfortable. That's why. Do you want to win or not? I'm like, I'll go outside and I'll ride my rollers.
That's huge.
So we did that. I did everything he said to do at the last. I did everything he said. And then I won all 3 mains at the next race. And I'm not, this is again, I'm not being arrogant. I'm
Was
not,
that the 83
that was,
Burbank
that was the 80, no, that was a month later. This was the 83 Burbank Outdoor Round 6 ESPN Pro Series. I was going into that race 10 points behind Brian Patterson. I won all 3 mains. Wound up with, I don't know, I don't know what the points lead was at that point. It was 40 points or
You got a
something.
picture with Eric Group jumping the water jump.
Yes, and I passed him like 10 seconds later.
Okay.
I don't know if that, and Eric Group's great. Well, we battled in that series, and he's a fierce competitor for sure. But after that race, he was like, all right. He was like, not to the exact words, but he was like, hey, that was good. Everything's working. He goes, I need you to understand something. I'm like, yeah, what's up? He goes, nobody gives a shit who won that race. It doesn't matter. It means nothing. Okay. Clear slate. You've got 1 race left. It's the finals. You got to go handle it. New program. Go do all my things.
2 different colored gloves.
Make it through to the mains. I'm like, all right. If I get, top 3, I get the title. Period. I think I had a 50 point or 60 point lead over Harry. And so I raced the first main. I get 3rd. Stu gets 1st. In between each main, he's taking me to the mouth. He's like, pull your pants down. We're in a stall. He's got the magic. Sure. He's rubbing my legs down. I'm like, I've never had that. It's unbelievable. It got rid of the junk.
That was my job.
And yeah, well, there you go.
5 years, yeah.
Once that was done, he's like, all right, I want you to go walk. And we had this area, we were walking. And so go up to the second main.
Unbelievable.
Get the second main, I get second. I'm like, yes. And he's like, what are you yesing? We're not done yet, okay? I'm like, all right, but I don't give a shit. I won the title. And he's like, well, nobody cares.
What's up, Brian? You're awesome.
So, what's up? Brian Shepard, what's happening? So, I was really out of the mental was, it's just a lot of stress. And like when people say, hey, is it racing pro fun? No, it's not fun. It's fun afterwards if everything goes right. It's very stressful. It could be fun. But after the second main, I won the title and I was like, oh my God, I'm just like, oh, I'm done. Well, Stu had 2 wins and I had a third and a second. I was walking the loop that Jeff told me to walk. Mm-hmm. This is the greatest moment. Sorry, Stu, but I'm going to go there. This was the greatest moment ever because as I'm walking, I pass Dennis and Stu and they're talking. And Stu says, now first place was $7,500 and second place was $3,000, which is a lot of difference.
Sure.
So all I hear as I'm walking, and mind you, I'm trying to like, I just got to race this last race. I got to get, and then I hear Stu tell Dennis, and I was just walking by. They may not even have seen me. Yeah, with the winnings, I'm going to buy that new KX blah 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 motorcycle. I was like, fuck, you're not. Sorry about that. So
nice.
We get on the gate for the last main, and the gate drops, and I win, and he gets 5th. 2 + 5 is 7, and 3, 2, 1 is 6, and I won the overall and got the $7,500. Yeah, it was great.
And that was that night, right? You had to go somewhere.
And I went to after the third main. Then my team manager Sal Eckel, a New York boy, an East Coast boy, Mr. Eckel, he comes over and says, "Hey, I know you got to go talk to Rennie, and he's got to pay you in this, but we got to get the fuck out of here." I'm like, "What are you talking about, dude?" It's like, your wife, she went into the hospital today at about noon, and she's giving birth here pretty soon. I'm like, oh shit. So I kept my uniform on. I drove to the hospital, and my oldest was born at like 4:39 in the morning.
Amazing.
With my full uniform on, 2 different gloves or whatever.
Well, yeah, red.
But yeah, it was amazing. And so what was cool is,
was that the greatest?
That was cool because
I mean, the greatest day of your
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? How's it
was
get better than that?
It was probably the best. It was the best. If I try to separate my kid being born because that's a whole other thing in itself.
Sure.
Nothing compares to that. But it's like to work so hard for something in a 7-race series, to have all the guys say, "Hey, this is the best series." Like it's just a shorter, more intense series, and to win it was validation, and it was the best, and it all went down and started a month earlier. It was like Jeff was like, "There's 2 races left, and we have to start now, and you're going to handle these 2 races."
He really is just unbelievable.
He's unbelievable. We would be at the college on these little personal trampoline things, the round ones.
Yeah.
And it would be me, Bailey, Wardy, someone else. And he'd have this big long broomstick, and he'd put it in front of us, and we couldn't move. And then when he pulled the stick away, we had to run as fast as we could on that. And then he'd put it this, and he'd do this, and do that, and then he would be like, "All right, we're gonna do bench." And I'm like, "Oh, I can do bench." He's like, "No, we're gonna do it. Here's what you're doing." And it was like you do the bench, and you go down slow, and you go up as fast as you could.
Nice.
It was all to promote fast twitch.
Yeah, he was way ahead of his time.
I did a month of his training, and I went to the outdoor race. And it was a freaking long track. Pistols, legs blew up. He I think something. I don't know. He was. I had to.
Pass out at that one?
I had to cut the lining out of the inside of my pants because my legs were swollen. Like it was like bad, dude.
Yeah.
And but he was like, "This is what we're gonna do," and so I just did everything he said. But he was what really elevated me to the next level. And the thing is, there's no money in BMX. So even if you win all these races, there's not enough money to be like, "Yo, I can pay you like $50,000 a year to train me." You can't do that.
Yeah.
There's not an opportunity to do that.
But the
So
motocross guys could.
they could because no, thank you. I'm good.
So
Thank you.
What's funny is I was a big motocross fan as well, and when I saw you had a Jeff Spencer sticker on, total training,
Total
I was
Training.
like, oh my god, he's working with him because I knew what he had done for
Yeah.
motocross, and I said,
Right.
wow, if he's coming into BMX, this is going to be amazing. But you were the only guy, right?
I was the only guy, and I think the only reason why is because there really wasn't any money in the sport to be able to even have kids sign up to get on his program. But what he had me do, the training he had me do, allowed me to use a 4316 on a almost 60-second track with 185 cranks. I could never do that now. I'd probably blow my colon out if I did that.
It's a little different. Did you want to? We can sort of wrap this up. Did you want to talk about Sigel?
Yeah, Sigel was a guy that I think Salem turned me on
I didn't,
to.
dude. I didn't know.
So this guy was in the bodybuilding world, and I just wanted to have another perspective, some mentals. Okay, this guy shows up at my house.
He's no longer with us, too, Peter.
He's not. God rest his soul. He shows up at my house. And after about 10 minutes of talking, he says, bring me a magazine. We're thumbing through the magazine. I'm not going to name names, okay? We get to this full-page picture. He's like, who's that? I said, that's my number one competitor right there. All right, boom. Get it. By the way, we're going to ruin your magazine right now. No worries, okay? Turn it to the page, put it on the bed right there. Hey, do you have a tennis racket? Yeah, I got a tennis racket. I like to play one. Go get your tennis racket, okay? Okay, now look. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to get the tennis racket in your hand, and I want you to look at that picture, and I want you to scream as loud as you can as you hit that picture. And I'm like, seriously? Just do it. All right, so I did it once, and I'm like, really not into it. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna ruin my tennis racket.
And a perfectly good magazine.
Right. Magazine's junk now.
And it wasn't the first ever BMX Plus that you were on the cover.
No, it wasn't.
I know.
So I did it twice. And I put the tennis racket down, and I took the magazine and folded it. I said, yo, this just isn't for me, man. This is not how I want to do this. I don't want to take tremendous amounts of anger up onto the gate. What I'm trying to do is take tremendous amounts of calmness up onto the gate. In order for me to get to the next level, this can't be violent.
You're trying to rid yourself
like
of that.
Harry, okay? Like, I love Harry.
R.I.P.
We're getting at an age where a lot of people are mentioning when we say God rest their soul. It kind of sucks.
That's why these interviews are going
Harry, I asked him one time, I said, why are you so angry? He goes, fuck those guys. I hate them. I have to hate my competitors. I have to hate them to beat them. I'm like, wow, so you're going to be hating people every day, all the time.
For the rest of your life.
It's not healthy, man.
No.
It's not. There's guys that I don't really like that I raced, but if I seen them right now, I'd be like, yo, what's up? And
Yeah.
Because it's like, hey, man, I don't like you for all these reasons. That was 40 years ago.
Yeah.
But thank you for pushing me.
Sure.
And hopefully I pushed you. We both became better.
Yeah.
You don't have to like each other,
And
but
you probably brought that desire and drive into your normal life now with your business.
yeah,
you
I
have
mean,
and-
it helps to run the business. Sometimes you get over it, but I'm like, you know what? It's like I'm doing things that I did in BMX to make my business work, and it's great.
Yeah. And your business is successful.
It's
right?
going good, man. We're doing good. We're doing a
Awesome.
lot of jobs, epoxy flooring, and mostly garages and stuff, and it's great.
If you didn't know this about Greg and you're in the Southern California area, he does amazing work. Look him up. I'll give you information if you want on that.
It's all good, man.
What,
It's
Instagram
cool.
or what do you got?
I got Instagram, I got Facebook, but I am going to say, can I say a shout out real quick? So this is the deal with my messenger. I want to apologize. You got somebody. Anyway,
okay.
So on my messenger, I get a lot of messages from people. They want to know if I still have GHP this and GHP that. I don't have any of it. I got what I want, what I'm keeping, right? But I
You
had
got your
to
starting gate still?
No. The thing is this. I'm not answering anything on private message from this point forward.
Okay.
Unless it has to do with epoxy jobs, my marketplace ads.
Sure.
And the main reason why is because like a year ago I got hacked and Facebook wouldn't help me and I lost my account. I got hacked by some Lily Collins, who's probably some Asian dude. He was in the Philippines.
Sure.
And I lost my account. And so I started it again, and then I got the certified thing because when you pay 15 or 20 bucks a month, you get all this protection crap.
Sure.
But guys will message me, I love BMX, but it's 2025 right now, and I don't have stickers and tube sets and bikes. I got everything. My garage is full of stuff we're keeping.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know who's sending me stuff. Even a good friend, and it's, hey, click this link. It's a cool blah blah blah.
Yeah.
And you click it, and the next thing you know, you're hacked.
Yeah.
So I'm not doing it anymore. So please don't take offense to it. I'm not being a jerk off or nothing. I just don't. Yeah, links.
Okay.
Not clicking, not doing it.
So, as which happens in all these Lunch with the Legends, we haven't even touched a lot of shit.
Well, whatever,
If you want to
dude.
do a part 2, I'd love to have you back.
Whenever you're ready to roll, just let me know. We can
Okay.
do whatever you want.
Awesome.
And we can meet somewhere else.
Sure.
and
Well,
it's
no,
all
we're
good.
at your favorite place. I like it.
It's all good. It's cool.
All right, so thank you for watching so much, Greg.
Thank you.
Greg, as you know, my God, nothing you can say. This guy's an icon in the sport. I loved having him here. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. And any
And
final?
Mike Rodriguez wants to know if I have any stickers, especially not for you, bro.
It's
Hey,
stickers.
What you need to do is have Mike on and have him talk to you about how to drive rental cars, how to ruin his car in less than 3 days.
Well, I will probably do a Lunch with the Legends when he comes to Dirty Fest. I'm not flying to Rhode Island.
Okay,
to,
we'll do it and ask him to tell you about his awesome driving skills. It's very epic.
Greg Hill, you were very.
Thanks, guys.
you're
Thank you
very-
guys for watching. Appreciate it. Mike Jolly, what's up, bro? That's GHP right there, dude. GHP support team. Right on.
Well, thank you, Greg. From the heart, you inspired me as a child, and
Thank you, man. I
I got
appreciate
out of bed to do the things you did to be like you.
Got
and
the hand
I
going.
fell short, but that's okay. I'm doing this, and this is
It's
fun.
all good, man. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you. All right, guys. Oh, Crit Plate. What's